ॐ कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेंकटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः। श्रीमान् वेंकटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि। भगवानेव स्वनियाम्य स्वरूपस्थितिप्रवृत्ते स्वशेषतैकरसेनानेनात्मना कर्त्रा स्वीये हि देहेन्द्रियादिभिः करणैः स्वस्मै स्वप्रीत्यै स्वयमेवेदं भ्रान्तशाङ्करभ्रमखण्डनं कारयति. So, in the previous video, I had posted a challenge to Shankaras. Is there a single place in Shankara bhashya where the word parameshvara by itself unambiguously refers directly to nirguNa-brahman without going via saguna-brahman? So this was the challenge, and the video was this. You may refer to it again. I emphasized this repeatedly, yet certain Shankaras were not able to understand the question properly, and their responses show their not only their inability to understand, but more seriously their inability to understand Shankara bhashyas. They have a very poor grasp of Shankara bhashyas. If they can't even understand what the term Parameshwara means in Shankara bhashya, if they insist that it can directly refer to nirguNa-brahman, one must be shocked at the kind of sampradaya which produces such incompetence, right? Now, first let me clarify the difference between word meaning and sentence meaning and passage meaning and so on. Alright? Now, a sentence has many words, and this collection of words can have a singular meaning. However, the components within the sentence are words which can have different meanings. They combine together to form some meaning. Alright? This is so clear. For example, if I say the ball is round, alright, it does not mean that if you open a dictionary, the entry for the term ball and the entry for the term round will be exactly the same, that they are synonyms. No, it is not like that. So similarly, if I say man is crazy, all right, if I say man is crazy, it doesn't mean that man equals crazy, right? So I can say giraffe is man just to say giraffe is crazy. Can I do that? No, I can't do that. All right, so man always means a hominid ape, and crazy means something else, one who acts contrary to logic and so on. All right, so there is a difference between word meanings and sentence meanings. Now you can have a passage which talks about nirguNa-brahman, which says that Paramatma is equal to Jivatma, which says there is only one Atma, which says Parameshwara, you are Parameshwara also by Swarupa. There can be passages like that. However, it does not mean that the term Parameshwara means something else. No, it can't be so. And furthermore, you can't so some people are so confused. For example, this gentleman, let us see, Vikram jagannAthan. All right, so he claims that a direct reference to saguna-brahman in the above phrases is meaningless within the context of Advaita Siddhanta and goes against the Siddhanta itself. However, that is false, as I will demonstrate clearly. However, AS teaches that nirguNa-brahma is avAchyatA, non-describable by words. Words function indicatively, lakshana, and not as direct descriptors. Alright. Demanding a word that, as far as he says here, nirguNa-brahma is avAchyatA, non-describable by words. Words function indicatively as pointing to this nirguNa-brahman. That much I agree. nirguNa-brahman is such a word which indicates this supposed entity which has no visheshas, and yet which has satta and jnana and so on. Okay, now how can this be? It is an absurd thing, which is a separate topic. There is no such thing as a nirvishesha entity at all. There is no evidence. For example, just because I can indicate something with words, this statement is false. Does it mean that collection of words communicate something intelligible, something meaningful, something worthy? No. Similarly, nirguNa-brahman or nirvishesha Brahma, more precisely, nirvishesha Brahma is such a meaningless word, and there is no entity behind it. So that's a different topic. But however, he admits that some words can be used to indicate nirguNa-brahma. There is no disagreement of it, but not as direct descriptors. I mean, how can you describe something which doesn't exist? So let's leave that. Now, demanding a word that directly describes description transcending is a category mistake. So you are making a mistake by misquoting me, Shri Vikram. How are you doing so? Because I am not asking for a word for nirguNa-brahman. No, I am not. I am saying very simply the term Parameshwara cannot not refer to a saguna entity. It is so simple. So your Advaita 101 here doesn't apply at all. You should learn paraphrasing 101 first. Right? You should learn how to understand the person you're trying to criticize 101 first. So back to the issue of Parameshwara meaning something else other than pointing directly to nirguNa-brahman. That's so impossible. It's apparent from the etymology itself, right? So if you have something, what is Parameshwara? Paramaschaso Ishwarashcha Parameshwara. It is so simple. So there is the quality Paramya, there is the quality Aishwarya. So there are two gunas already. So it is a saguna entity. And furthermore, to be an Ishvara, you need something you need something which is ishitavya. You need something to lord over in order for you to be a lord. So there already we have vyavaharika satta. Alright. So neither Paramya nor Aishwarya can be attributed to an attributeless entity. It is impossible. It is so obvious. Now, can Shankara do such a thing? Neo-Shankarans do that. It is such a misfortune. They do that. However, Shankara, my opinion of Shankara is not that low. He never does it. He never does it. If you know some place where he slips up as badly as Neo-Shankarans do, please let me know. The challenge is still open. How? I will show you. So first of all, there were earlier attempts at showing Parameshwara can be nirguNa-brahman, and we have already seen one. Syat Parameshwarasyapi chhavashan mayamayam rupam sadhakanugrahartham. Here in this bhashya, Parameshwara is nirguNa-brahma. So said someone called V. Subramanian, who is supposed to be a great Advaita Acharya, who has guided innumerable sincere seekers, and who is a vice chairman of Sringeri Sharada Peethas Aham Brahmasmi Foundation. Alright, so this is so nonsensical because Parameshwarasya ichha asti. He has desire, and he has a rupa, mayamayam rupam syat. Alright, he has the ability and the disposition to take multiple forms, and he cares about doing anugraha to others, right? And so that points to existence of others. So it is so clear that the Parameshwara here is Ichhavan. He has he can take Mayamayam Rupam, so he has Kriya. It can't be Nirvishesha Brahman. So he has already blundered about. It is already been explained adequately, multiple videos. So the next attempt was by Shri venkaT Shiva. It was in the same chat. Nirasta sarva vishesham parameshwaram is a usage in Shankara bhashya. He said, okay, I will take up your challenge. See, here Parameshwara is used to indicate nirvishesha Brahman. Alright? No, it is not so. Nirasta sarva vishesham parameshwaram indicates nirguNa-brahman, not savishesha Brahma. Alright? So, how is that the case? Nirasta sarva vishesha. Alright? So, let us split this word. Sarve visheshaha, sarva visheshaha. This is the samasa, first samasa. Second samasa, nirastah sarva visheshaah yasmat sah. Nirastah sarva visheshaah yasmat sah. So this is nirasta sarva visheshaah. Literally, nirasta means, all right, cast off. All right, it means cast off, thrown out, expelled, banished. It is so clear. And however, ShrI Vikram Jagannathan, he says that he claims that it does not syntactically says Visheshas of Parameshwara are deleted. Baba, you refer to a dictionary. I have shown you the samasa syntax. Nirastah sarva visheshaah yasmat sah nirasta sarva visheshaah. So it is syntax only, syntactically only it's saying that all the visheshas, sarva vishesha of Parameshwara have been cast away, thrown away. So is it clear? So you are totally mistaken. At least learn how to parse the Sanskrit syntax in Sanskrit compounds. Then you will realize that this is purely bullshitting. All right. So this obviously does not qualify because, as I said, the meaning of a sentence or a phrase can be different from the meaning of a word. I've already covered that. So this does not qualify. All right. Another proposition was this Atmetyeva parameshvara pratipattavyah. This was proposed by Sri Ravishankar, and I addressed it in the comments. So this is, as I said, again, this arises from the confusion that the sentence, the meaning of a sentence is equal to the meaning of the word. All right. Just because Parameshwara is used within this sentence, it means that Parameshwara means nirguNa-brahman, because Atma is nirguNa-brahman actually, according to Sri Ravishankar's opinion. However, it is not so, because Ravishankar himself gave me this Bhamati statement. Bhamati understands Atmetyeva Parameshwara Pratipattavyah as Shvetaketoratmaiva Parameshwara Pratipattavyo Natu Shvetaketor Vyatiriktah Parameshwara. So it identifies Parameshwara on one hand with Shvetaketoratma. Alright. So you are identifying entity A with entity B. You are saying that they are exactly the same. That is the meaning of the sentence. However, that does not deny that Parameshwara means something else, and Shvetaketo Ratma can be something else. For example, if I say Ravishankaratmetyeva Vishwasah Pratipattavyah, all right. If I say this, does it mean that Vishwas ceases to refer to me, even in this sentence? Does it mean that Ravishankara ceases to refer to the person called Ravishankara? No, it does not. It merely equates, identifies both of them as being identical. Okay. It doesn't say that Vishwasa loses its meaning. Right? So Parameshwara still refers to the one, the creator of the universe, the controller of everything, who is beyond Maya, who is not under the control of Maya. This is made explicitly clear in a later sentence in the same adhikarana, where it says Advaiteshwarasya apahata-papmatvadi gunata. It is so clear. Gunata. See, guna means quality. Gunata means having a quality. So Advaiteshwara, here if you read the passage, see, this is the passage. It is in the same adhikarana. It refers to the same Parameshwara. Advaiteshwara is Parameshwara only, and he has something called apahata-papmatvadi guna, that he is beyond karma, he is beyond papa, and so on. However, it is contrasted with the direct meaning of the jiva, who is not apahata-papma. All right. Samsarinah samsaritvapohena Ishvaratmatvam Pratipadayishitam. So it is saying that an identity is being proposed. It doesn't take away the meaning of the words themselves. And furthermore, okay, another thing which was proposed by Sri Ravishankar was Ishita Parameshwara Paramatma Sarvasya. This is the Vyakhyana for the first shloka in Ishavasya Upanishad, I believe. So here it is so clear that Ishita, the quality and activity of lording over, is ascribed to Parameshwara. Ishita Parameshwara. Right. Now Ishitru is the root here. Ishitru. So already you have a Kriya and you have quality. So this is Saguna Brahma only. So this is not, this cannot be taken up as well. And furthermore, Yoyam, this was proposed by Vikram Jagannathan in his email. So he says, Yoyam Vijnanamaya Praneshu Samsari Lakshate Sa Va Esha Mahan Aja Atma Parameshwara Evasmabhi Pratipadita Ityartha. So this is something in Sushuptyadhikaranam. And there, as usual, if you go down, if you read further sentences, it clearly says that Prajya Parameshwara Sarvajyatva Lakshanaya Prajya Nityam Aviyogat. Alright, so here it is, you should remember that Parameshwara is contrasted with something called Sharira Atma. Right? Tatra Purushaha Sharira Syat Tasya Veditritvat Bahyabhyantara Vedana Prasange Sati Tat Pratishedha Sambhavat. So only if you are a Vedita, only if you are conscious, can the removal of this consciousness become meaningful. Therefore, there is a Shariratma referred to here. However, in sleep, Ayam Purushaha Prajyenatmana Samparishvakto na Bahyam Kinchana Veda Nantaram. So, this Atma is contrasted with the Parameshwara, and that Parameshwara never, unlike the Purusha referred to in the previous passage, during Sushupti he loses knowledge of the exterior world. Parameshwara never loses Prajna. Alright, this is not Jnanam, but this is Prajna or consciousness, never loses it. So here Parameshwara, who never goes into deep sleep, who never loses consciousness, is Saguna only. He has Prajna. Prajna is different from Jnana. Please recall that. This is in the context of Sushupti, where a person loses all consciousness of everything else other than himself. Alright. So, this also, this supposed use of Parameshwara in the sense of nirguNa-brahman as directly referring to nirguNa-brahman does not hold up. So this was the litany of errors which was found in Sri Vikram Jagannathan's email. Further he says that it is unproductive engaging in vehement critiques which overlook. So he disagrees with again the fact that one can purely by intellectual logical exercise transcend Maya, Avidya and attain moksha. No, that is not my position at all. You are again misrepresenting my position. Avidya Maya is a root problem and is and cannot be removed by discursive reasoning alone. That is fine. Alright, agreed. Logic clarifies and prepares, but moksha arises from Brahma Jnana with Shruti as sole pramana. Now, you are contradicting your own Acharya. Shruti is not the sole pramana, Anubhava is also a pramana. And beyond that, you have to use Yukti to understand Shruti as well and Anubhava properly as well. And Shankara does that quite well even though not perfectly, quite well. He is not as illogical as you make him out to be. Logic clarifies and prepares. I agree with that part. But moksha arises only from Brahmajnana. Now, Brahmajnana does not require the knowledge of Brahma, dialectical knowledge of Brahma, intellectual knowledge of Brahma. Does not require any yoga, any transcendence, or anything. Only nishtha within that. You want to become firmly established in that knowledge, then that requires transcendence, yoga, whatever. However, you are appealing to mysticism, you are appealing to non-intellectualism, where you are unable to sort out lacunae, you are unable to explain things. That is not a good sign. It shows that the philosophy you are trying to defend is intellectually unsound. All right. To make it clear, I will say that part again. So let us see. Okay. So you have some problems in your theory which you can't explain. You can't say that because you are not a yogi, you won't understand. Because I can't explain it. Only you have to be a yogi, then it will start to make sense. You can't say that. It is not something which Shankara would believe in as well. So even Shankaras, how they say mukti is obtained. First there is Sattva Shuddhi, then there is Jnana Prapti by listening to Upanishads and so on, considering Anubhava and all. And then there is Sarva Karma Sannyasa. You have to enter the sannyasa ashrama. Then you will have Jnana Nishtha, will be established in Ekatmata Jnana. And then you will have moksha once your karmas are extinguished. So that's the traditional Advaitin, Shankaran Advaitin progression towards moksha. Now you see Jnana Prapti stage is different from Jnana Nishtha stage. Now I can admit that Jnana Nishtha involves some sort of transcendental experience, much experience and so on. However, Jnana Prapti, the Jnana you acquire at least should be consistent. If it is inconsistent, there is a problem in your philosophy or in your understanding of your philosophy. And it cannot, you can't use it as proof, or you can't use it to hand wave something you cannot explain adequately. If there are edges which you can't explain, you better say I don't know. You say maybe no one knows, it is an open problem or something like that. You can't say, oh, you do yoga, you do tapas, then you will understand. That shows that it is not intellectually sound. So that's all I had this time. Thank you very much. Bye.